Hello everyone, this is Karst, and welcome back to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. So, we just finished off the DLC, Brushes with Death, and I am more than ready to continue on with the main game. So, of course, I am expected to go back to quote-unquote, hurry back to Catherine, to tell her that the proggers are ready to move the Finger of God, and then we can go and basically steal it along the way. I'm not ready to do that personally. I would like to finish off the other two random side quests I picked up while I was doing the DLC. I don't think these are part of the DLC, these are just things I just picked up along the way. So I need to find out a little bit more about what happened to Mikush. I will do this first because the other quest requires me to go back to the Kuttenberg Sigismund's camp anyway. So, back to Billany, and I will start asking about Mikush in the tavern there.
Why would I dob you in?
You see a monk by the side of the road. Something is odd about him. Monks don't usually look like that. You also have the feeling you've seen him before. Okay, let's stop and find out more. Who are you?
Henry! Mate, it's me!
Oh, you're the treasure hunter.
Do I know you?
I'm seeing you again, huh?
Come,
okay,
Henry,
we'll talk.
My friend! We meet again! This can't be a coincidence.
I notice you haven't shaved your head.
Bolek. How's your search for the Grail going? Did you pick up any clues at the monastery?
Not much. I took your advice and tried to get in there as a novice. But it all fell apart.
How so?
It went well at first. I got hold of this habit and I completed the first task. Getting rid of my possessions, hand them out to the poor and all that.
But
that was easy. But then came the hard part. I sort of lied to them about being able to read and write, and then
well done, good job.
They wanted me to prove it. Well, to cut a long story short, I didn't have a chance to mention the Grail before the guards chased me to the city gate. They said I'd desecrated hallowed ground.
Well done. You didn't give away all your belongings, did you?
Hey, Bolek. You didn't really give away all your belongings, did you?
No, I'm not an idiot. I buried my stuff in the woods. Even drew a map.
Another map? Okay.
I was afraid you had nothing but that habit now.
Well, there's a catch. I was worried I'd be stuck in the monastery for a good while. So I had a little celebration the night before.
You serious?
And I must have lost the map somewhere.
Good work,
This
good work.
habit doesn't have pockets. And I can't figure out where I put it.
Okay, so what can you do then? I'm not going to insult him, but you are a bit of a fool.
Well, what can you do, eh? Possessions are only a burden anyway. At least you can start with a clean slate.
That's true. I didn't have much of anything anyway. So it's no great loss. It's just, I had a locket. I'm a little sorry to lose that.
Was it expensive? Gold?
I don't
No,
think
it probably
was
has
expensive,
sentimental value,
but
yeah.
It was given to me by my wife. When she finds out I lost it, she'll take a broom to me.
Wait, you have a wife?
You're married?
Of course. Every proper man is. Don't you have a wife yet?
Okay. Hurts a little, but no.
Nah. I haven't met the right woman yet.
Yes, you have.
better hurry
She's
up.
waiting in Ratai.
You've got to find her. Have a baby. And you'll be happy. I know what I'm talking about. My Rosalie's been waiting for me back home for 5 years.
5 years!
And I'm sure she's really looking forward to my return.
Seems legit.
Are you sure she's still waiting for you? 5 years is quite a while, isn't it?
Of course I am. I made sure not to leave her alone, so she wouldn't feel sad.
Did you
We
leave
have
her with a
child.
gardener?
And
Okay.
My brother lives next door. He promised he'd look in on her from time to time.
Right.
So I don't have to worry on that score. When I come back with the Grail, she'll be waiting for me with open arms.
Right. If you say so. So, what are you planning? Is your quest at an end?
Not yet. I just need a lead. I feel like I'm so close to the Grail I could reach out and grasp it. I might try asking the millers again. Or maybe get a monk so drunk he'll clue me in. We'll see what path the Lord plots for me.
Well, good luck to you, my friend.
Yep.
Thanks. And like I promised, if I ever find the Grail, I'll seek you out and we'll drink together to the eternal glory of our Lord.
Sounds good. Catch you later, buddy.
What are you whistling for?
Whistling for my horse. I'm allowed to do that. Okay. So, then, continuing on our journey to Billany, which is relatively close by. I shouldn't have any further interruptions. And I guess our first stop is going to be to drop by the pub to start asking about the missing man, as well as buy some food, because I definitely don't have a whole lot of that. I guess I should just ask the innkeeper. Hello, who am I asking? Not the Dicers. Because the Dicers, I could have killed them while I was pursuing the main quest. Okay, they're not open yet, apparently. It's a bit too early. Oh. Oh yeah, they're being upset with me because I tried to open the door. Sorry. Alright, fine, I'll step out of the... I'll step off property so you people will leave me alone. Please open up, innkeeper. Are you open yet? Well, I mean, it looks like you have some customers, so you must be open. Where is the innkeep? I'm looking for a guy with a funny hat. Nope, none of you. The Dicer. Yes, yes. Okay, housemaid. That's another Dicer. Oh, he's over here. Hello.
God bless you, sir.
Yes, and you. I'm looking for a fella called Mikush.
I'm looking for one fella. He's named Mikush.
Mikush.
Doesn't ring a bell.
They say he wears a fancy hat.
Ah, the Hatter, of course.
Okay,
He's not
that's
from
a name.
around here. He started showing up a few months ago, just for a few days at a time. Sometimes he'd sleep here.
I hear he made his living as a tailor in the village.
I don't know anything about that. He never offered me his services. He seemed to me like an ordinary, decent guest. He drank a few beers, played dice.
He played dice? With who?
I don't get a moment's rest around here, my good man. I don't have time to check who the guests are talking to, but he must have played with Chernik. He's our champ. I'm sure he'll tell you more.
Sure, as long as Chernik doesn't try to force me into playing dice games with him.
What's going on around here?
Nothing much, really. If you're looking for a job...
I'm not looking for a job, thank you. Well, you're standing right here. That's convenient. Talk to me.
Day, sir.
Good day.
I'm looking for someone. His name's Mikush.
Mikush? Never heard of him.
I've been told he wears a...
Fancy hat?
Exactly.
Yes.
I've seen him around here. But I don't see why I should talk to a stranger about another stranger.
The innkeeper told me that you definitely played with Mikush.
Aye. I do like a good game of dice. But I'm not telling you anything else about him.
You're
What's
being
that?
extremely unhelpful.
Because I don't know you. Like me ma always said, never talk to strangers. Come on, let's roll some
No,
dice instead.
you will not force me into an unnecessary minigame. Not interested. Mikush's family is looking for him.
Listen, Mikush's family is looking for him. His wife and daughter. They're worried about him. They're refugees from Messales, living in a hut in the woods. They've lost everything, now even their provider. Can you live with that on your conscience?
Look, I wouldn't wish ill on anyone. And all right, I do know a bit about him.
Tell me then.
Okay,
I've
inform
known
me.
Mikush since the first moment he showed up here to play. Unsurprisingly, the bloke looked like he couldn't count to 5. I thought I'd found an easy mark. But man, was I wrong. He's a great player. And that kind of praise means something coming from me. He knows when to bet everything on the final roll.
So he won a lot?
Aye, for a while. Until his luck ran out.
Oh,
Then he
that's
started
how it always
borrowing.
goes.
One time he got so
Quit while you're
desperate,
ahead.
maybe had a few too many beers, he started going on about his buried fortune in Messales.
Why am I going
Saying
back to
he'd surely
Messales again?
pay
How is
back
everything all
anyone who
linked
lent him
together? Holy
money.
cow.
Ha!
Alright, so let me guess. Someone heard about it and they either killed him or they forced him to go with them to find the missing treasure.
What about that buried fortune of his? Did he ever mention it again?
The next day, he claimed he made it all up, saying he just had too much to drink. Only nobody believed him.
That's a bit problematic, yes. Did anyone lend him anything?
Did anyone lend him anything?
Aye, and Mikush won everything back.
Well, that's good. Did he return the money?
And did he pay back the money he borrowed?
Of course, every last groschen. He was laughing the whole time, too.
Okay, so who was interested in his fortune?
Did anyone seem particularly interested in his fortune?
It does sound like an easy
Someone
way
who
to
wants
become
it
a
for
target.
himself and would go after Mikush because of it.
Everyone was interested in it, but Mikush never talked about it again. Besides, that village is burned to the ground and full of rabble.
Not really.
Messales
Messales is pretty
an awful
deserted,
mess.
to be honest.
That rhymes.
It's nothing like Opatowitz.
When did you last see Mikush?
A few days ago. He was
Drat,
playing against
got
that
it.
hired hand, Drat. Drat lost, and didn't have enough money. They left together, and Mikush hasn't shown up since.
Why did you not think of that? Are you...
That's pretty
okay.
suspicious now that I think about it.
Yeah, no
That
kidding.
Drat bloke's an odd duck.
What do you mean, odd?
I've heard he's been dealing with some bandits. You'd better have a word with him.
Does he
But be
still come to the
careful.
city? Or the
Where
town?
can I find this drat?
Somewhere in the village. I reckon he'll be at the farm he works at.
Okay, so he is still around.
Technically, because he's a big fella and looks strong, they made him into something like the village catchpole. But to tell you the truth, he's less a catchpole and more just a regular farmhand pretending to be a catchpole.
Got it. Where can I find this drat?
Where can I find this drat?
I already told you.
Yeah, okay. At the farm, in
somewhere
the village.
village.
Got it.
I'll
Thank
go
you.
have a talk with drat then. Thanks.
Don't mention it. And if you ever fancy a game,
Nope.
you know where to find me.
I know where to find you, and I will
Right,
never
my
speak to
friend.
you again. Goodbye, sir. Okay, well, apparently he's out over here somewhere. Oh. Is this the farm he works at? Must be. What's a quick and easy way over? I guess this will do. Let me guess. He's not at work, and I'm gonna have to talk to whoever owns this farm to be like, where is this guy? Yeah, okay. Hello, talk to me.
Good morning.
Good morning. What can you tell me about Drat?
What can you tell me about drat?
Look, I don't know him so well. I know he's mixed up in some bad stuff, that's all. He hid something in his chest. Some kind of map or something. He was always very careful with it.
What do you mean, was?
Take care.
Are you Drat? Ah, you're Drat. I see. And you've got something in your chest back here? Okay, he'll talk to me.
You're drat.
Aye, that's me.
Can I ask you something?
Ask away. But do it fast, I don't have all day.
Are there any refugees from Meseles
Are
here?
there any refugees from Meseles here in the village?
No. They say everyone was massacred there. If anyone survived it, they must have fled towards Visaka.
Okay, what do you do for work here?
What do you do for work here?
I'm a hired hand. But not just any hired hand. I'm also the local catchpole, practically the town guard.
Right. Do you know Mikush?
Do you know a fella by the name of Mikush?
I don't know any Mikesh.
Nah, knock it off. I hear you left the tavern together. And no one has seen Mikush since.
Oh yeah, that fella. We were heading in the same direction, but then went separate ways. That's all I know.
Seems legit. Talk to
You
me.
certainly know something about Mikush's disappearance, and you should talk.
Should I? Why's that?
Because I will rip you apart. I can charisma my way through this. You best realize who you're talking to.
You best realise to whom you're speaking, boy. If it were of no importance, a noble such as myself would waste no time with it. So speak.
I apologise, sir. It's not my fault. It was Hanka,
Who? Who's Hanka?
Who's Hanka?
an old acquaintance of mine. We've known each other for years. He was a hired hand in Meseles. Certainly know what happened there. The horror. Not long ago, he came to see me. Said he was the only survivor from the entire village, but I know that wasn't true.
Because you met Mikush.
I thought he'd be quite happy that someone else got away, but he was actually quite upset about it.
Really? He wanted to have the title as lone survivor? So now he's taking out the other survivors or something?
What do you mean, upset?
Well, you could see it on him, all nervous.
Or is he not even
Seemed
from
to me like
Meseles?
it was rubbing him up the wrong way.
Yeah.
Mikush of
Is
all
it
people
possible that he's
survived.
just lying just to have the title? Did he have anything else to say about it?
Interesting. Did he tell you anything else?
I didn't ask him any more questions.
No, you definitely asked him something.
So, someone comes to see you, acts all odd, and you don't ask any questions? I don't believe you. You must have had a normal conversation, seeing as you're old friends. And he had to have told you something.
Well, I understood he'd quarrelled with Mikush and his family about some money, a family inheritance. Nothing
Convenient.
unique there. It happens in every family, so I didn't pry any deeper. Then he said he'd like to talk to Mikush and whether I could set up a meeting.
Okay, why didn't he go and see Mikush himself?
Thanks to you, he knew Mikush frequents the tavern. So why didn't he go and find him? To talk with him?
I don't know.
Okay, you know the real reason.
Damn it. Come clean. You must have asked him the very same question. So you know the real reason. Admit it.
Hanker told me he'd joined up with some bandits, so he didn't want to show his face in the taverns. It wasn't so long ago they robbed a merchant here. I reckon he was afraid someone might recognize him.
So he wanted to rob Mikush?
What a
I
surprise.
Really have no idea. Hanker didn't tell me. I just wanted to help out an old friend. I didn't know what he was up to. What the hell do I care about some strange fellow with a funny hat, damn it? Hanker told me to take Mikush outside the village and then he'd meet him there.
Yeah, that
He
doesn't
said
sound
Mikush
suspicious
couldn't
at
know
all,
about
buddy.
him, and he left figuring out how to do that up to me. So I played dice with Mikush. He's damn good, so I had no problem losing a few games. In no time at all, I owed him quite a few groschen. I told him I could pay my debt immediately, but he'd have to come with me to my hiding place. He didn't blink an eye. He's damn trusting, given how things are today. I took him a little way outside the village, told him I was going to take a piss, and then took off. And that's all. I don't know anything else.
Where'd you take him?
Where did you take him? I want the exact location.
Here, just outside the village, on the way towards Missalus.
Are you lying to me
Are
again?
you trying to lie again, Drat? Hanker joined up with some bandits. You said yourself he wouldn't dare going anywhere near the village. Unless you want to piss me off, you'll tell me the truth. Now.
All right, fine. It was a bit further away from the village. Actually, it was quite far.
He followed you all the way out there? He's that desperate for gold, huh? Or groschen. Where were you supposed to take him?
Where were you supposed to take Mikush?
A crossroads by the forest, on the way to Missalus. Actually, almost right by Missalus. A little beyond the woodsman's camp. Just go straight.
I can't believe he
straight.
followed you all that
Two
way.
roads
What a
intersect there. It's
what a
the
gullible
only
person.
proper
Okay.
crossroads on the way.
What happened there?
What
He
happened
doesn't
at
know,
the
he
crossroads?
says.
I want
But
the truth.
he's been lying to me
As I was
with
saying,
every sentence he
I
gets, so...
took Mikush there and told him I needed to take a piss. Then Hanker jumped out of the woods with some bandits.
Okay, so you
They
do know what
grabbed him.
happened.
He began to scream, but there was no one around to hear him.
And what did you do?
I didn't wait to find out what would happen. I ran.
Okay, what did Hanka promise you for that?
What did Hanker promise you for bringing Mikush to him?
Nothing. I did it out of friendship.
Seems
He's trying to lie
legit.
again.
All right. He said he'd give me part of the buried inheritance.
Hanka was interested in the inheritance.
So Hanker wanted to get his hands on that inheritance the whole time.
I reckon so.
He felt the family owed it to him, but I don't understand why.
Family. Skeletons in the closet. You never know.
How long have you known Hanka for?
How long have you known Hanker? Since you're such good friends.
We go back a long way. As youngsters, we'd beat the shit out of each other in the Messalus tavern. As it often goes, we ended up becoming friends over a beer, you know? But I haven't seen him since I've been working as a catchpole. Not until now, that is.
You know more about him than you're telling me. This guy is lying with every breath.
But if you were such good friends, you must know more than you're telling me.
Maybe. But it's not important.
Every detail is important.
So listen up. Hanker always had one big problem. No woman would have him. He's always said it's because he's not rich. But he's just a hired hand. As if a hired hand can't shag. The stories I could tell.
Get to the point.
Last year, his cousin danced with him at a feast. He was like a new man.
Okay.
He wouldn't stop talking about her. Vendula this, Vendula that. As if he was in love with her. And then, all of a sudden, nothing. He never mentioned her again.
Interesting. I'm assuming all of this additional information I'm getting out of Drat here is going to be useful later in speech checks or something. I have to assume. Like, this is a lot of supplementary information. If it turns out that I'm just there to kill a few bandits, that would be a little disappointing. Where's Hanka now?
Where might Hanker be now?
I only know what he told me. That he ran off into the forest. And that's where he joined up with those bandits. He bragged about how they made him their captain.
Seems legit. I'm not wasting my time with you. Time to go.
I'm not wasting any more time with you. God only knows what Hanker's done to Mikush, and you're responsible for it. Be ashamed. You sold out an innocent man for a handful of groschen. Sickening.
I'm truly sorry.
But being sorry won't help. You're a snake in the grass. You deserve punishment.
Please, don't tell anyone. No one can find out.
No, people will find out. Alright, show remorse. I'm not gonna blackmail him. I was actually just gonna turn around and, like, immediately report him, but...
Alright. I won't tell anyone. You have committed a grave sin, but if you show remorse, God will forgive you.
Thank you. I'll never do anything like that again. I swear. I'll pray and...
I mean, it does sound like he kind of regrets it, but
Enough
still.
already. Farewell, Drat.
You better not show up in my lists later. Alright, we're gonna be heading quite far, aren't we? Going practically back to Wojta's grave. Yep, I was literally just here. Okay, alright, fine, off we go. I think we're approaching the crossroads here, which would be where he was jumped. Now, you told me he was dragged off into the woods? Or something along those lines? So I'm gonna have to keep my eyes open for disturbed brush, maybe some blood, the usual type of thing that I have to track. I would imagine. I'm sure Henry will call my attention when there's something to find. Oh! There we go. I see blood. That'll be it. I did find disturbed ground. And a hat.
That must be Mikush's hat. It looks
Perfect.
like it fell off when they dragged him into the woods.
Yeah, they dragged him out from
Have to
here.
find out which way they
There
took
was
him.
blood right here that I missed. I literally just ran through the woods until I came across something that looked vaguely suspicious. Okay. So there's blood. I'm going to keep following the trail. Oh, I could probably get the dog to just smell it, can't I? I probably could. But this is fine. I'm not seeing any more blood, to be honest, but I'm assuming I'm going in the right direction. Gonna keep following this path. It's probably gonna take me to a camp or something. Nope, more blood. Kept going. Okay. Am I gonna find his corpse at the end of this trail? I don't know. Where am I now? A little lost. Aha! A tent. That could be it. Have I ever discovered this before? I've not. I'm going to assume that this is the place. I should probably sneak around a bit, huh? What am I dealing with here? A random tent in the woods. Find out what happened to Mikush and save him. Okay.
It's getting worse.
He's delirious with a fever.
It must hurt.
You'd be in pain too. That Hanker is a real bastard.
If he'd have talked, this wouldn't have happened.
What did you guys do to him?
He should have given him a breather, not just burned him with a red-hot knife.
Did he get out of him what he needed? He did.
He got it all right. But the tailor here's gonna croak, and we'll be fucked.
You people seem reasonable,
You can't get
relatively
that
speaking, so I'm gonna walk up to you. Talk to me. You don't want to talk? You guys don't want to talk?
You value
No?
your life. Turn around and forget you saw anything.
All right.
I'm leaving.
Turn around and march on out of it. Die like a dog, you.
Will I? You know, I thought you were going to be reasonable, but you're not. I mean, you seem like you had some humanity in you. Can I pull out a weapon, please? Thank you. Alright, you're dead. You're next. You are next, sir. Nope. I doubt you're going to be strong enough to resist this. Nope. Alright, well. You know, since you had some concern for his well-being, I was willing to give you a chance, but it is what it is. Thank you for the free bread. And, well, okay, stuck in a divot in the river. And you there. You don't really have anything worthwhile either, but I'll take these. That doesn't weigh me anything. So we'll quickly repair and then hopefully treat our wounded Tailor. Okay. Oops. Let me get the other weapon. Nothing else, nothing else. I just repaired his cap for him, even better. Alright, talk to me.
Christ. He's on his last legs.
Well, we're definitely inspecting the wounds.
Let's have a look then. The burns look ugly, but something tells me they aren't the main problem.
Yeah,
The
they're
stab
worried because he got
wounds are
burned a
worse.
bit. That ain't it.
They're red at the edges.
Oh, he's
They're
been
hot to the
stabbed.
touch. I think
Yeah,
that's
of course
where
he's dying.
infected. I ought to do something about it. At the very least, clean and bandage it.
At minimum, yes. Would herbs help?
Maybe some herbs would help him. Medicinal ones. They help with healing. If I
Obviously.
place them on his wounds and dress them, he could get some relief.
Okay, what about a
Maybe
potion?
a potion would help him. Something healing. That works fast. The better quality it is, the quicker he'll get better.
You're getting a Henry's Marigold from me.
I've seen enough.
I know exactly what to do.
I think I know how to help him. I'll get him through this. I hope I can act fast enough.
Okay, well, let's treat him then.
What are we gonna do with you?
Well, we've got to... Praying for him is great, but that's not going to do that much right away. Let's clean the wound. We'll pray for him after we bandage it. How about that?
I should clean that wound first.
I have snaps on me at all times. We've been through this. This is why I carry so many on me. I've learned my lessons from Nebukov. Okay.
This'll sting a bit.
Perhaps I should have given him painkiller first.
The wound is clean. That should stop the pus from forming.
Okay. I'll put herbs on that
I
wound.
ought to put herbs on that wound.
Do I have any? I don't have herbs. Crap.
But I won't do that now.
Can I come back? I can come back. What herbs would I put on it? I've never been asked for actual herbs before. I'll give you a potion first.
I'll give you a healing potion. I'm sure it'll help.
Henry's Marigold, yes, the very best.
This one should do the trick. Drink up.
Okay. It's a Henry's. It has to be amazing. And I'll be right back.
I'll be back.
Okay, maybe I can pull some off of my horse. I have to assume this is timed as well, right? What would help here, though? Abundantly in pastures. Feverfew? Reduce fever. Is there anything that might specifically get help against infection, though? I mean, Feverfew doesn't sound bad. Mint, Marigold. I'm gonna try Feverfew. I don't know if they'll let me use dried herbs. Let's see.
Now it's time to try herbs.
No.
But I
Dried
won't do
herbs
that
are not
now.
allowed, okay.
I'll be back.
Okay. This is problematic. How would I know to just carry herbs around with me? Okay, feels bad, feels bad. Any herbs for me to pick around here? Maybe I just don't have herbs. Maybe I'm gonna have to skip that step. As much as I wish I had herbs for him, like where... Unless I know specifically what I'm looking for. I don't think I have a choice. I think I'm just gonna bandage him up and pray for him, and that's it. I'm gonna have to skip a step. I gave him my Henry's potion. This should be
I
enough.
should bandage it for you. I'll just wrap it tight. There we are.
Okay, and I'll pray.
Pray for you. At least your soul will get some relief. How does it go again?
What do you mean, how does it go again, Henry? There was
All
a skill
praise
check.
and
There you go.
glory is yours, Lord our God, for you have called us to serve you in love. Bless Mikush, so that he may bear this illness in union with your son's obedient suffering. Restore him to health, and lead him to glory. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Amen.
Okay, well, hopefully that helped in some way. That's it.
all. I'm sure he'll pull through.
Good, good. Thank you, Henry. I will trust your word on it. Because I definitely skipped a step.
Who are you?
Henry. But that's not important now. What happened here? Why did they torture you?
I buried inheritance. I told Hanka that the only person
Oh no,
Who
he's
knows
going after the
where our
wife then.
inheritance
Not good.
is buried is Svatala.
Yeah, that's the wife, I'm pretty sure.
Then he burned me. So much pain. I told him where he could find her. My God, he took his men and headed out for her. To the hut. You have to save them.
Will do. You got
Hurry.
it.
I'll follow you. Don't wait for me. Their lives are in danger.
Understood. I'm on my way. Right away. I didn't even loot this place. I mean, I might have a moment. Right? Like, for 30 seconds won't be the end of the world. I'll take some bandages, too. Thievery 30, look at that! I might as well just unlock it then, I guess. Scholarship is maxed. I don't really want Explorer because that feels cheaty, so... Thievery, Thief's Eyes, or Lawbreaker. I almost never end up being wanted for a crime, so Thief's Eyes is fine. It doesn't really matter to me. Is that it? That seems like that's it. Okay, let's get on the horse. I feel like there was another chest that I overlooked, so I will quickly take a peek at it. Watch Mikush over there like report me for lockpicking and stealing. That'd be really funny. Really ungrateful too, but really funny. Okay. Let's go. Now, where do they live again? Northeast from here. Okay. It would definitely be faster for me to go directly there instead of travel to Billany and then head west, so I'll just turn the horse in a general direction and ride off. Let's do it.
Quick!
I'm thinking I'm going to have my bow equipped for this one in case I really need to get a shot in early. No idea, but we'll find out together. We'll put away the weapon for now. I wonder if I can actually interact with these bandits or if I should just start shooting the moment I get there. Here we are, approaching the hut. Let's go. Maybe I should just run up. I don't know. Let's see. What are we running into? If there's a conversation to be had, then I'll definitely have my weapon out. My melee weapon out. Otherwise, I'm just going to start shooting. Oh, that's bad. Oh, they're family members. They're related. Okay, well, it autosaved when I walk close. Okay. I mean, you're a little distracted, so if I just shoot you with a bow, how much would be...
On the fields, she had a back like a dry twig, and you knew it.
Maybe I can reconcile them. I think in the case that he doesn't die immediately from an arrow, he would slit her throat if he gets shot. So can I join in?
Let her go immediately.
Take another step, and I'll slit her throat.
I've been in this situation before. I can navigate this.
Don't do it. Do you hear me? You'll be sorry.
Someone else is going to be sorry here.
For God's sake, talk to me.
Why are you sticking your nose into this?
I'm extremely nosy, actually. I'm a friend of the local lord. Or I can just challenge
You're
him.
lucky it's me you ran into. I'm a good friend of the lord of this forest. If you let her go and surrender, I can arrange a pardon for you.
A pardon? What do you mean? Talk!
That's a straight lie. That feels bad. Let her go and we'll talk.
Let her go. We can talk this over. It's not your fault what you've done. You've gone through horrible things.
What could you know about that?
I literally know
Believe me,
nothing
I
about
know.
that.
You're horribly angry and you can't control yourself.
He was saying
But no
something
one
about
else
his mom, I
should
guess,
because of that.
during the conversation.
Talk to me. Peacefully.
Peacefully. All right. We'll do it your way.
Okay, good.
Praise be to God.
Alright, I totally lied to you, by the way.
I know it doesn't look good, but I was in the right.
It does not look good at all.
It belongs to me. It's my inheritance.
Is that right? Explain it.
I don't understand. You'll have to explain it to me.
My grandfather, Old Svotosh, was rich. He worked the fields all around Messeris. He built a beautiful house. He had many children, but only 2 daughters made it into adulthood. Svatova and my mother, Ludmila. When he was dying, he fucked my mother over and gave the house and all his money to Svatova and that tailor of hers.
Okay. I mean, that is his right to do, technically. I mean, completely. Did he have a reason to do that, though?
To disinherit his daughter like that. It's strange, to say the least. Did he have a reason to do that?
Reason? Svatosh hated my father. He was just your average poor commoner, but
That wasn't good enough for his high and mighty self. Svatava and Mikush got married off in Kuttenberg at the Church of St. Peter and Pavel. But did they invite my parents? I was still little, but I remember he treated us like dirt. And not just him. We barely had any proper food to eat. Pa had to go work in the mines at Horsham for a few groschen. He ended up trapped under rubble there. He died a cripple.
I'm sorry.
After that, no one even moved a finger to help us. Not Svatava, not Mikush.
I'm
no
surprised
one.
that Svatava didn't care for your
Damn lucky I came in time to
for
help
her
Mikush.
sister.
Things might have ended up much worse.
I only wanted justice. Nothing more.
I do hear you liked Vendula, but who the heck was that?
Drat told me you were attracted to Vendula.
That's not true.
Don't lie. I hear she...
Oh, Vendula's the girl here. Sorry.
You were over the moon.
Sorry, I forgot her name. I was very confused.
Not so many girls dance with me.
Because you're just a hired hand?
Well, she's my cousin. So I wasn't head over heels for her or anything. No way.
Methinks you
I mean,
doth
who
protest
want
too
me
much.
Anyway?
Violent. Someone out there for everyone.
I get it. You're alone and desperate. It's sad not to have someone by your side.
You're right.
But believe me, there's someone out there for everyone. It's God's will.
You think so?
Certainly.
I hope so.
Try and pray more. And visit the baths.
I don't know if that'll help. Okay, the bats?
That's
Yes,
important.
the bats will help.
I wish I heard that earlier.
But it's never too late to change, believe me. Look at me. I'm just an ordinary village boy.
You might be right.
Okay, so let's continue with our conversations. Violence won't solve anything.
If you felt aggrieved, you should have found another way. Violence solves nothing.
That's the first time I've heard that.
Really?
You don't exactly look like the type of man that would avoid, say, torturing an enemy.
I mean, I personally don't enjoy to
Am
do
I
it.
wrong?
I've tortured people. I need to have a good reason.
I need to have a good reason to get violent.
Are you saying I didn't have a good reason?
But I mean, these were. I mean, the girl was innocent.
In any case, you should apologize. You put them through hell.
I won't apologize to anyone. They had a guilty conscience because of what they did to me. If they'd shared just a bit of their wealth, nothing would have happened to them. But they didn't. They fucked up my life. I'm poor and alone.
How did you survive Mesilis?
Tell me one thing. How did you survive what happened in Mesilis?
Dumb fucking luck, I reckon. That band of despicable cutthroats. Once they made their way into the courtyard, all hell broke loose. Tried to defend ourselves, but everyone but me fell. So I fled to save my brother and mother.
I guess you were
It's too late.
unable to do so. That sucks.
Everything was burning. I took off running and didn't stop until I was deep in the forest.
No matter what you've done, I must admit, I feel sorry for you. I know well what
Yeah,
you
we've been through something like that ourselves. What happened to your family?
Your family? What happened to them?
No one survived. No one was expecting it. Once the soldiers entered the village, there was no escape. Their captain got his eye on my brother, who worked with me in the courtyard. Franz was barely 15. He didn't stand a chance. I ran out to the fields for Ma, but they got there first. All I could hear was a screaming. And then it stopped. I lost everyone. But Svatava and Mikush didn't.
I'm sorry, but your misfortune gives you no right to harm others.
True. How did you join up with the bandits?
How did you join up with the bandits?
My first night out, I slept under a tree. I was starving. So I went out hunting for mushrooms, but then I saw a fire. It was that gang. Captain Loiser was their leader, a big fella. They said they'd let me join.
You have a
if I
Captain
beat
Loiser
them
for me to
fight.
kill? That sounds good.
So I beat him. And they made me their leader.
What about Loiser?
They buried him in a
Okay,
grave.
so he's just
I reckon
dead.
that was no great loss.
I don't know. We didn't really get to know each other.
Enough talk.
Be reasonable. No one died in the end.
True.
I said enough talk. I know how to end this whole unfortunate situation. Take what I said about rectification to heart and leave here in peace.
Very well. I was getting sick of the bandit life anyway.
Can I fund him a
You'll
little
never see
bit
me
as long
around
as he
these
actually
parts
turns
again.
his
I swear.
turns a new leaf?
Farewell.
Okay, well, farewell, I guess. That happened.
Hey, Hanka! Where's he going? I have no idea.
And they're just gonna follow him. Okay, that's fine. That works for me. I'm a little worried that his bandits are gonna turn on him too, though. Hopefully that doesn't happen. There's only 3 of them. Don't you worry, I'm fine.
Don't worry. He'll handle it.
It's dealt with.
You both alright?
My sweet Vendula. Did he hurt you?
I'm all right, Ma.
Thank God. Thanks for the rescue, Henry.
You're welcome.
And what about my husband? Did you find him?
I did, he signed.
Did. Hanka was keeping him in his camp. He was nearly a goner. I managed to treat his wounds.
His wounds? My God. What did those bastards do to him?
They didn't treat him nicely, that's for sure. But he'll tell you himself. He's on his way back now.
Hunker, that bastard. I hope he'll pay for all his crimes.
I let him go. But he won't touch you guys again.
I'll let him go.
For God's sake, why? A bastard like that? He's a bandit.
I mean, it does
He'll
sound
hurt
like
someone else.
you guys could have
You
helped him
should
out a
have
little
killed
bit.
him on the spot.
Hanka didn't end up killing anyone.
Oh, stop talking nonsense. Every criminal deserves a just punishment. And I thought seeing my own home burned to the ground was the worst thing.
We've gone through a lot, Ma. So much suffering. We have to leave this place. Get as far away as possible, as soon as possible.
Wait. Did you hear something?
It's just gonna be your husband
I
coming
don't hear
back, I'm
anything.
sure.
There! Again! Someone's outside. Jesus. It's those bandits. There must have been more of them.
Ma, take
No,
it
I'm
easy.
sure it's
I
just your
don't hear
husband.
anything.
Don't chill.
Henry,
Don't freak out.
Go and have a look.
Okay, okay.
It's not the bandits. Look who's come home.
Mikush!
You made it here quickly.
Well, I mean, it makes
I
sense. He
came
would be
as
rushing back
fast
here,
as I
considering
could.
what was going on.
I nearly gave up the ghost. I was so worried about the 2 of you.
I'm so glad you survived. That horrible hunker tried to kill us.
I know. All because of the inheritance. He went absolutely mad.
If it weren't for Henry, he'd have killed Vendula. And then me.
That lunatic. Who would have guessed that about him? He used to be a good lad.
After all that, Henry let that good lad go.
Alright, don't get annoying about it, ma'am.
Let's hope he never shows up here again. I'm awfully knackered.
So I can't actually, like,
I need to lie
ask
down
them
for a
about
bit.
all of this? Like, their family
Will you help
relationship
me?
or
Of
anything?
course, Pa. Come and rest inside.
I reckon you're hungry too. Vendula, give him some gruel. It should still be warm.
All right. Come on, Pa. Carefully.
And the 2 of us
Yes,
should have a word.
I agree. We should have a word. Talk to me now.
What did you want to talk about?
I wanted to thank you for everything. You saved our entire family.
I'm glad I could help.
As you might have figured out, everything that happened was all because of our inheritance, which I hid from the soldiers and
Which
mercenaries.
Mikush definitely
I
should not have
understand you've done
randomly
everything
talked
you
about
can
while he
for
was
us,
playing dice.
But I wanted to ask if you could go and get it for us. You're a strong, capable man, and you don't scare easy. And it'll be worth your efforts. Trust me.
Fine, I can
All
go
right,
for it.
I'll look for it. But you'll have to tell me where I'll find it.
Listen, I'll tell you everything. My memory's not as good as it once was. Our house is the 3rd one on the right when you follow the main road towards Visoka.
Okay.
Anyone entering the village goes by our house. Must have been about 2 days before the tragedy. The neighbor boy ran over and started yelling about how something was coming. That he'd heard it from the patrol on the road.
So you guys had
No one
forewarning.
believed him, not even his pa.
Oh.
After all, why would soldiers attack a monastery village, one far from their camp? It didn't make any sense. That night, though, I had a strange dream. I tried to put out a fire, but the more water I poured on it, the bigger the flames got. So I decided to hide all our valuables. Only I couldn't do it during the day. I was worried someone would see me. I put all of it in a chest, loaded it onto a handcart, and waited till nightfall.
Okay, and then where'd you put the handcart? Did you believe your dream?
Did you believe your dream?
Dreams are gifts from God. They can tell the future. Don't you know that? But
Sure.
anyway, when night fell, I snuck out the back of our house with a handcart, making my way through the hole in the fence next to the compost heap. Mikush was supposed to fix that hole a long time ago. But as good as he is with a needle and thread, well, when it comes to other work, you can forget about it. At least it made things easier for me. First, I headed right. Then I turned left, up the path, around the neighbor's barn. It's outside his fence.
Okay.
I had to stop there, because the neighbor's little brat was still awake and wandering around. Fortunately, he didn't see me. So I kept going past a low wall where 2 paths cross. There, I went left. Once I was safely out of the village, a dog started barking at me, so I had to pick up the pace. Instead of turning right down the path, I went straight into the field there.
Okay, so it should be
That
obvious,
handcart was damned heavy,
because you
and
would
it
have
was
flattened a
rough
lot
going off the path.
of
Across the
plant life
field,
along the way.
making it to the woods. But the wheel got stuck there. I couldn't go any further and it was pitch black. I lit a lantern and dug a pit to fit that chest. Took me forever. When I was done, I could barely walk straight. The sun was coming up. I left the handcart and shovel there and went back the way I came. I hope those directions are good enough for you to find it.
Me too. Why didn't Mikush help you? He didn't know, did he?
Why did you do all that work yourself? Why didn't your husband help?
The fewer people know about it, the better. I didn't want to leave.
Although I'm
anything to
surprised he
chance.
didn't have anything
That's
to say
all I
about all
need.
of your missing valuables.
I'll
But...
go and find your inheritance.
Alright, I'd like to ask you something else. What's the story with this inheritance?
What's the story with your inheritance?
My father, Old Man Svatosh, was quite wealthy. At least compared to the rest of the village. You see, he worked all fields and farms around here. He had 9 children, but only me and my younger sister Ludmilla made it into adulthood. And then, when he died, he left everything to me. He
Okay,
wanted to be
explain the
sure,
difference.
Because with Ludmilla, he was worried she'd blow through all of it.
Why did he disinherit her?
Why did your father disinherit Ludmilla?
She was quite flighty. She liked to have a good time, if you know what I mean. She was never without a man. Then she brought this hired hand home. Fanosh was his name. She had to marry him, as she was in the family way.
Okay.
Svatosh
I
threw
see
her
what
out
you
of the
meant.
house without
Pregnant.
a second thought, heartlessly. And he never mentioned
Okay,
her
but you
again.
could have kept in touch with your sister. Exactly. Why didn't you help her?
Why didn't you help Ludmilla then? Hanka said you didn't care about them. That you left them to starve to death.
That's not true.
No?
I offered to help her. I found her a job, but it was in vain. She was mad. Sometimes something came over her, like she was possessed. It was frightening, and it got worse and worse. It seems Hanka has inherited it from her. Those aren't the kind of people you let live in your house.
Why didn't you help Hanka?
Why didn't you help Hanka at least? He lost his father after he got hurt in the mines. He must have been desperate.
Fanosh? A miner? Where did you hear that? He never stepped foot out of the village. He drank so much, he lost his job, and then fell off a cliff at Simperk. He's a common swindler. And he's delusional, just like his lunatic mother. I hope our paths never cross again.
I don't know if I should believe you or not. I'm hearing 2 very different stories here. How did he become so wealthy?
How did Svatosh become so wealthy?
He was a good farmer. When he was young, he worked on a big farm somewhere near Colleen and worked his way up from the bottom to become the custodian. But it's no coincidence he ended up in Mesoles. He was close with the old custodian of the Sedlets monastery. They were friends. Sometimes you've just got to meet good fortune halfway.
Okay, and what did you do with the inheritance?
What did you do with such a large inheritance?
What do you think? I took care of it the way Pa wanted, so our Groshin didn't just roll away from us. So our Vendula would have a good life, a good dowry, and a good husband. At least someone as good as my Mikush.
Okay, I'd like to know more about Mesolis.
I'd like to know more about Mesoles.
Those are sad memories.
You know, I've been through something similar. Sigismund's army burned down my hometown. Skalitz.
My lord! Thank God you managed to save yourself.
Unfortunately, very few of us were so lucky. My ma and pa stayed behind.
I'm so sorry to hear that. What would you like to know, Henry?
How did the attack unfold?
I know reliving it isn't easy, but I'd be interested to know how the attack unfolded.
Like I said, we were prepared for it. Unlike the others, the soldiers came from the main road. First the horsemen. They cut down anyone who stood in their way. Then came the first flaming arrows, and the roost began to burn. The horsemen then stormed the farm, and that's all I saw.
As you got the heck
God
out,
save
makes
the
sense.
souls of those innocent people.
Yes, they were warned, Henry. Keep up.
You said you were prepared. So someone warned you?
I already told you.
Exactly.
A few days earlier, the neighbor boy was shouting about how he had heard something was going to happen. And then, I had the strange dream. So I decided to get ready, just in case.
And did you know where you'd flee to?
Did you know where you'd flee to?
I did. I remember this old hut by Billiny. A long time ago, the Lord's huntsman and his family lived there. When the forest fell under the ownership of the monastery, he had to move out. It was empty for years, and now it's our home.
Fair enough. What was Mesolis like before all
What
this?
was Mesolis
like any other
before
village, I
all
would
this?
imagine.
Was it a big village?
I wouldn't call it big. Maybe back in my father's day, but not in recent years. As more and more silver started coming out of the mines, people moved to work in Kutenberg. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nobody left to work in the fields soon. But what can you do? That's a question for the custodian. And there's no reason to ask now anyway.
True. Was there anything peculiar about Mesolis?
Was there anything peculiar about Mesolis?
What do you mean?
Well, something worth looking for, I mean. Something the soldiers might have wanted.
They didn't attack us for our buried inheritance, that's for sure. They came for food and plunder.
Yep, the
Though,
usual.
On second thought, I heard something about a mysterious cave that's supposedly beneath Mesoles.
Oh?
But I reckon that's just an old wives' tale.
Tell me more, I'm sure it's real. Oh no, never mind. I guess maybe I can look for it myself. What are you gonna do now?
What are you gonna do now?
I hope that inheritance brings us back the happiness we've lost. I hope our suffering ends soon, and we'll see better days again.
Alright, I'll be back.
I'm going for the inheritance. I hope it's still there.
I'm sure it is. No one would ever think to look where it's hidden. Me, Vendula, and Mikush will wait here for you.
Sounds good. I'll be back. Can I follow up with Mikush?
You alright, Mikush?
No. I need to rest.
Okay, no dialogue. Vendula?
How is he?
Not well. He needs to rest.
And what about you?
Not so good either. I'm still trembling. In any case, thanks for the rescue. Who knows what Hanker is capable of? That is, if he doesn't come back.
Svatava sent me for the inheritance.
Svatava sent me for your inheritance.
She finally came to her senses. I told her I'd go there myself. We could have had money and left this hut behind long ago. But she doesn't trust me and is always so worried about me, as if I was a little girl. If she wasn't so afraid, none of this would have ever happened.
That's debatable. What's the story about your inheritance then?
What's the story with your inheritance?
I didn't know anything about what Hanker was so angry about. Nothing about any disinheritance or quarrels. Or do you mean how Ma buried it? Aye, I saw her taking everything of value from the house and loading it onto a handcart. But honestly, I just thought it was another of her whims. But I couldn't have been more wrong.
Was Hanka entitled to the inheritance?
Was Hanker entitled to the inheritance?
Who knows? He was always just a strange cousin to me. We'd greet each other, but that's all. I never could have expected what someone like him is capable of. When he goes mad.
What about that time you danced with him?
What about that one time you danced with Hanker?
What about it?
I hear he sort of fell for you after that.
That's not true. And if it was, what do I care?
You made fun of him.
I think that by dancing with him, you were making fun of him. Isn't that right?
Making fun of him? Why would I do that?
Because you wanted to put on a show for your friends from the village. Because you knew Hanker's not right in the head, so you did it on purpose. And you nearly paid for it with your life and the lives of your family.
Aye. The girls kept egging me
Oh,
on
I
to do
see.
it.
So that's what the problem.
To
Okay.
ask the ugliest bloke there to dance.
Oof.
So it was just a stupid dare.
Oof.
If only I'd known I was only adding fuel to the fire.
There are multiple layers of
God.
oof here.
I'm
Okay.
going to get your inheritance.
Good luck.
So maybe
then
I don't
Noel
know. I still don't know what the
finally
real
wisen
story
up
is.
and we'll leave this
It doesn't
place.
really matter in the end. The self-family troubles that I don't need to get involved in.
Wound. And my legs.
I'll have a look at it and change your bandage later. Try to get some sleep.
Okay.
Are you alright, Mikush?
No.
Alright, that's fine. And you're praying back here, right? Yes, you are. Alright. Off we go. Let's go, I don't have any blood on me. That's fine. Let's go Pebbles. Let's see if we run into, Hanka over back in Mesiles. I just have to follow the river west and then, start searching. So I'm approaching Mesiles again, and the instructions told me she's the third house on the right in the main road. Or something like that. Let me see here. Third on the right in the village when coming from the main road. Coming from the main road in Wasoka or what? So it's probably like one of these houses. Took in secret at night on a handcart through a hole in the fence behind the house. Along a path behind the yard. Around the neighbor's barn, taking it out of the village and across the field to the woods where the handcart got stuck. So I'm kind of like, this seems like farmland, right? Maybe it's like down here somewhere. So I'm going to head southwest. I'm assuming it's not anywhere near Wojtek's grave. I'm just going to go in this general direction. And maybe I'll have guessed correctly. I see a building in there. Is that normal? But I'm going to keep going in this general direction and see if I have chosen a good spot. Who is this? Some random trader? Okay, sure. Oh yeah, he might get PTSD. That makes sense.
I don't want to be reminded of that day.
Okay, what were you examining? I get the feeling I'm on the right path right here because I see a trail in through the woods. It makes perfect sense that this would be the way to go, right? I think this makes sense. Did you actually make it to the woods, though? I'm a little lost now. Oh!
This is where Svatova took the handcart onto the meadow. The inheritance can't be far.
Okay, so that's good. I basically followed it, the same trail again. I came back to double check. And then decided to jump the fence over here because it looked like it vaguely came over here. And then there's the hole in the fence. So now I just follow. I mean, I don't see a trail. That's the problem. I guess I can run around here looking for the handcart. So it turns out I was checking the wrong spot. I was heading off through the break in the fence into this section of the woods when she did say she doubled back around the fence. So, and past the field. So it turns out, instead of going straight ahead, she took a left and then came back in this direction, which is pretty silly, but I've located the handcart. But holy cow, was this not easy to find, I will say that right now. Okay, we'll get the stuff for you, and then we'll go back and return it. Are we gonna get jumped at any point? Do you think, they followed me or anything? Someone followed me? Groschen 500, family heirloom, and rare fabrics. Okay. That's fine. Let's return to Svatava. 500 groschen and various stuff. Got it. Horsemanship 30 and a perk point. Wonderful. What are you doing just standing out here? You want to talk? Vendula? No, you're just chilling? Okay, sure. What can I even level up horsemanship-wise? Let's take a look here. Roadrunner or Wild Runner? Doesn't really matter. I'll pick Wild Runner. Why not? And first things first, Mikush, how are you feeling? A lot better. You're standing. You're not talking, but you're standing. Okay, that helps. Satava?
I was in Merciless and followed your instructions.
And? Did you find it?
I did. Of course I
The chest
did.
was buried by the forest, exactly where you said. Next to the handcart.
My God! Thank you for everything.
You're welcome.
Mikush! Henry has returned, and he found our inheritance.
Now, please give a
Finally.
portion to the
Some
little guy.
good
At least donate a little bit.
Don't keep us waiting, Henry. Let's see what you have for us.
Oh, yeah, of course I'm handing over everything.
Here's everything I found.
Fabric, groschen, and our ancestor? Nothing's missing.
I would hope not, all things
This
considered.
fabric's as good as new. Think of all the money this will make.
Finally, fortune smiled upon us.
It surely has. I told you that once our ancestor comes back to us, everything will be like it once was. Thank you, Henry. Here's something for your efforts.
Thanks. You're gonna give me like
If you
10
ever
groschen.
feel like learning something new,
Survival
Mikush
strength.
here will be glad to teach you.
So he
60
teach me to
groschen,
play
okay.
dice, eh?
I'll take
You
it.
can't learn dice. You have to have it in your blood.
That's not what I meant. He's a tailor by trade, so he can show you how to mend your clothes.
I know how to mend my
I reckon
clothes.
I could. Stop by, Henry. I'll find time for you.
God bless.
Okay, sure. Quest complete, the heirloom. Do you have follow-up? Yes, you do. I'm returning your hat.
Before I forget, I found your hat. Here it is.
My hat? I thought I'd never see it again. I made it myself. It's the latest Italian style. You won't find another one like it.
I never even tried to put it
Thank you very
on.
much, Henry.
You're welcome. Are you gonna put it on now? Are you feeling better?
I see you're on your feet.
Oh, yep, there it is.
You feeling better?
Thank God, Vendula took care of me. So I'm feeling much better. Thanks for asking. I reckon
You might want to
it'll be a while
wash up
before I
first,
dance
though.
Again. But no matter. At least I can still hold a needle and thread.
That'll help. Okay. Vendula just enjoys to chill out here, staring out into the wood, doing nothing. And no one else wants to talk to me anymore, so we're gonna call it right here. I hope that you enjoyed what you saw here today and that you're doing well wherever you are. This has been Karst with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And next time we're going to be heading back over to Sigismund's camp. We're not going to be continuing with the main quest. We're going to be looking for Laszlo Farkas, because we need to find the captured knight Peter of that really long place. So have a great day. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you later. Bye-bye now.